From yet another perspective, the technology, which I identified as a weakness at the present moment, is advancing rapidly too. In terms of headsets, MetaQuest made huge progress in both functionality and usability. Haptic suits are also advancing rapidly. For example, TactSuit X from Haptic is a haptic vest directly integrated with VR games. It has no wires or latency, it has cross-platform support, and at less than 1 kilogram weight is really light as well. In addition, companies like Haptic provide many other types of haptic equipment. Haptic gloves, for example. The gloves leverage advanced algorithms to replicate sensory elements like pressing buttons, lifting dumbbells, petting cats, shaking hands, and even hugging virtual avatars. Yes, you heard me. You can already replicate the experience of shaking hands and hugging someone in VR. And that's not all. The same company developed Tactile, which is a haptic face cover for VR. Tactile enables you to feel the headshot and punches at your head, for example. Yet another product, Tactocy for arms, enables you to feel machine gun actions like recoils, impact, shots, and spellcasting. Of course, there is also Tactocy for hands and Tactocy for feet. The hands version allows for training in impact sports. For example, you can feel the real punch as it hits a jab. The feet version allows for feeling leg kicks, great for training in sports like taekwondo, football, or kickboxing in VR. So no need for a spare partner, just get suited and get training. However, things don't stop here. Taking your performance to VR or replicating real-life motion into VR is also starting to be commodified by companies like Rococo. Rococo provides a different service than Haptic. It sells smart suits, gloves, and face capture technology, which enables you to transform your motion into 3D experiences. This is basically moving motion and modeling to the 3D space and then moving it to VR. This is huge. And of course, to make it as easy as possible to deploy your models into your game development software, Rococo integrates with the largest platforms, including Unreal, Unity, and Maya. Finally, once again, generative AI advancements are already commodifying the creation of 3D assets and models via text to 3D models, for example. Of course, add applications like synthetic voice generation via text to voice models, and suddenly producing a representation of yourself and various assets in 3D for game development or VR purposes is very tangible. Ultimately, the easier will be for us to create realistic assets in the metaverse, and the higher the utility of the space, the faster the adoption will be. I like to reflect about the ideal utility of the metaverse by thinking of Gartner's metaverse equation, the way they call it: transport plus transform plus transact. In brief, the metaverse will achieve an endless game utility when users will be able to transport themselves to the metaverse. Think get your Googles and haptic equipment on and hop you go. Transform and interact with their current environment. Think Tom Cruise in Minority Report. And transact, purchase and sell, of course. I could continue, but the trend you need to be aware of is simple, and we also experience this in the case of Google's AI focus. Basically, VR is not quite there, but the analogy of the stadium filling in with water applies. Drop by drop, innovation by innovation, the stadium gets ready for the final 4 minutes where dramatic change happens. And you can rest assured that the entire industry is laser focused on making VR happen. Personally, I am confident that at some point VR ads will become a real alternative to Google and to other real-life distribution channels. We're not quite in the last 4 minutes, but we're moving fast. Okay, let's stop here for the moment. We will continue our conversation on VR in the next session. Thank you for watching.